Hi guys, welcome back. So today, I'm hoping this video will be pretty short and sweet because I have a very specific agenda that I want to talk about, and those are the worst drugstore foundations for me. So I have 5 foundations here with me now that really just did not work for me at all. You know, there's a lot of different reasons why things don't work out for me. I'm super pale, so a lot of times they don't go light enough. I'm super oily, so sometimes they're not long wear enough. And I'm super sensitive, so some of these just broke me out, and, you know, I'm not really willing to test that again, so, But for whatever reasons, these 5 just did not work for me. So I think we're going to start with one of the foundations that I picked up when we went to London last year, and that is the Max Factor Color Adapt Foundation in 40 Creamy Ivory. This is the lightest shade that it comes in, and 1, it's not that light, and 2, the name is deceiving. It says it's a Color Adapt Foundation, so I thought, okay, maybe it's not that light, but it'll lighten up to my skin tone. No. It goes on kind of orangey, and the finish is actually pretty nice. It's not bad, but within about 2 hours, it was just completely gone from my nose. Like, you know, I didn't want to be there anyway. Max Factor is one of the brands that I was most excited to try out when we went to London because I know they used to sell it here in the States, but I think they've stopped in most places, at least here in Texas. You know, I can't find it anywhere. And it really just let me down. It was so exciting. I was like, oh my god, it's going to be matte. It's going to match my skin tone like that Almay Smart Shade foundation. No, it didn't even wear very long. It only lasted about 2 hours before it started sliding off my face. So that one was a pass. The second foundation that did not work out for me, unfortunately, is pretty much like a cult favorite at this point. And if you guys watch a lot of other YouTube channels, or YouTube makeup channels in general, you know, everybody loves this, and it's like their holy grail product. But for me, the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer was also a no. So I picked this up when they extended their shade range a little bit. They, I think, used to go from 1 to like 10 or 12 or something like that. I know it started at 1. That was the lightest shade. And recently they came out with a new shade, which is 00 Light Natural. Still not light enough. This went on pretty orange, and I was really disappointed because the shade right above this, shade 1, I think is like cool vanilla. It has cool undertones. Why couldn't you just do this in a cooler undertone? Like, not everyone has yellow undertones or golden undertones. And so many foundations that go light enough for me, they're all golden. There are pink tone people in the world too, you know. I tried this one day, and this was a mistake. I tried this before work. I thought, what a good time to try this out. I'll get like a whole day wear test out of it. No. I went to lunch, probably about noon, went to the restroom, looked in the mirror, and I could not believe that no one told me I was walking around with like pancake face all day. It was so ugly. It had separated over my entire face, and any part that I had touched with my fingers, you know, I'll rest my head on my hand or, you know, do the thinking pose. Why did nobody tell me that all the places that I had touched with my fingers were like wet nail polish? You know that feeling you get when you think your nail polish is dry and you touch something and you get that smudge that you know will never come out? That's what this did. It's like it never really dried down on my skin, and so every time I touched it, it would smudge it a little bit. So I tried to powder it, and just patting, you know, I don't rub my face when I powder. Just patting made it like 20 times worse, and all I wanted to do was cry and take my makeup off in the bathroom. Just, I had such high hopes. So unfortunately, no. The next one I want to talk about is actually a BB cream, and this is the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream for Oily Skin. I'm pretty sure I found this at Kroger, and for some reason, the Kroger by our house is just awesome at stocking makeup. They always have things that, you know, Walgreens and CVS don't have yet, so whatever you're doing, Kroger, keep it up. But I saw this and thought, oh, yes, finally someone is recognizing that people have oily skin and they have needs too. Woo! For a BB cream, this went on really heavy, and I did it with a very light hand and with a sponge. Normally you get a slightly sheer application on a foundation with a sponge, but not this one. And it says it lasts all day, but it didn't. It lasted maybe 4 hours or so before, again, it slid off my nose, and then it started breaking up around my forehead and my chin. And once it does that, it's pretty much just game over. Once it starts breaking apart, you can see that the foundation is really not my skin color. As much as I've blended, you know, down my neck to my shirt line, no, it's just bad. This is another one. No. Okay, so my last two are probably my most disappointing ones. This one I had heard such great things about. There have been so many YouTube videos of people who just absolutely love this. And this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. And this is the lightest shade it comes in, I think. This is Fair Neutral Shell Ivory. It was a good color. You know, it was slightly too dark, but that's okay. It was pretty good. It was a good effort. But I literally could not get over how much this smelled like paint. I mean, I get that makeup is like, you know, you can consider it some form of art, but I mean, you're taking it a little too seriously. I was able to get full coverage out of this. A lot of people said that they got sheer and medium. I got full coverage, no problem. It just smelled like paint all day on my face. A lot of times the smell will dissipate shortly after application, but this one just stuck around, and it gave me a nasty headache. And on top of that, you know, although I got full coverage, it didn't actually do very much at all for controlling my oil. And I think I took maybe an hour or so when I was filming. Went to look in the mirror when I was done. My face was so greasy. It had only been an hour. I mean, did I run a marathon and I didn't realize? I am a huge, huge fan of Wet n Wild. You know, I've been a fan since I was like 3, and my mom let me buy those really pretty glitter nail polishes that were like 59 cents at the drugstore. So I was just really disappointed that this didn't work for me, but you know, different things work for different people, and unfortunately this was not one for me. So we have one more for trash. Ooh, man, I kind of feel like taking out my anger on these. I'm sorry. Okay, we're at the last one. And this one, I think, offended me the most. So, this is the L'Oreal Paris True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. And this is in N1 and 2 Soft Ivory / Classic Ivory. What I really like about the True Match line is that L'Oreal did a really good job of doing a huge range of colors for different undertones. So they have a whole set of foundations for neutral undertones, so pale to deep. They have a whole set of foundations for warm undertones, pale to deep. Same thing for cool undertones. So why does this one not come in a light cool shade? Why? I don't even know that I can put into words how disappointed I am in this, because they come in, so there's W for warm, N for neutral, C for cool. This comes in a W1/2, a N1/2, but no C1 or 2 at all. It starts at C3. Do you just think that people with cool undertones aren't pale? I mean, I don't understand. And I really tried to make this one work. This is the neutral one. I knew the golden one, the warm one, was not going to work for me. So I thought I can make the neutral work. I'll use a cool toned concealer. I'll use a little bit of a lighter powder. No, it still looked yellow. Make a cool toned one of these. I will buy them all. Why don't you make one? So unfortunately, unless you start making a cool toned light shade, it's also a pass. So thank you guys so much for listening through this. I think it was a little ranty. Maybe that was just the kind of day I had. I don't know. But I think it's also important for you guys to hear the reasons why things don't work out for me. You know, it's not always just because of the color, or it doesn't work for oily skin, or this or that. Sometimes, you know, it's a combination of things, and every brand that I've talked about, there are products that I absolutely love. You know, the L'Oreal one, that's over in my corner over there, you know, their Infallible line is great. And the CoverGirl, the Outlast one, is amazing. But, you know, occasionally you just get some duds, and you make note of the things that you didn't like, and you move on with life. So thank you guys so much for listening to this. Like I said, everyone's going to be different with these foundations, so what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So let me know if any of these actually did work for you guys, and if there's anything else you'd like to see. If you guys like these videos, be sure to give them a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like to see next. Thanks, guys!